Have you ever stood in the middle of your room, surrounded by things you thought you needed, and yet felt completely empty? We live in a world that tells us more is better, more clothes, more gadgets, more status. But what if more is exactly what's suffocating us? In Japan, among the most successful and influential, there's a quiet revolution happening, one that begins not with buying more, but with owning less. The wealthy in Tokyo's high-rise apartments and Kyoto's traditional homes are turning toward radical decluttering, a way of life that redefines what it means to be rich. For Japan's elite, minimalism isn't about aesthetics, it's about liberation. They've learned that every item we own carries a silent emotional weight, the weight of decisions, memories, and distractions. Letting go of these things isn't losing. It's reclaiming space not just in their homes, but in their minds. They understand something most of us forget. Peace doesn't come from possession, but from presence. Step into the home of a Japanese billionaire and you might be surprised. The walls are bare, the furniture is few. There's a calm energy in the air, as if the house itself breathes slower. This is not emptiness, it's intentional space. For Japan's elite, every object has a purpose, every corner a reason. They've discovered that space isn't wasted, it's where peace lives. One entrepreneur once said, "When I emptied my home, I finally saw my life clearly." That's the paradox. When you strip away the noise, what's left is clarity. In those empty rooms, they found answers to questions that wealth never could. Who am I without my things? What truly matters? You don't have to be rich to feel this. You just have to be willing to let go. Because sometimes the room you clear becomes the doorway to a freer version of yourself. The Japanese concept of Danshari teaches that decluttering isn't just about physical things, it's about releasing attachments. Dan means refusing unnecessary things. Sha means disposing of them, means separating yourself from the obsession to own. Together, they form a philosophy that touches the soul. Japan's elite practice Danshari not just as a habit, but as a daily ritual of emotional discipline. Imagine standing in front of a closet filled with clothes that represent past versions of you. Each one whispers, "Remember when you were thinner, happier, more successful?" The act of letting go is painful, but it's also healing. When you release what no longer aligns with who you are today, you make room for growth, for energy, for peace. The truth is, decluttering isn't about having less, it's about becoming more. The wealthiest families in Japan often speak of an invisible form of wealth, time. They've realized that true luxury isn't found in expensive things, but in the ability to wake up without chaos. Their mornings start with silence, their schedules uncluttered, their homes in harmony. They guard their energy as fiercely as they once guarded their money. This shift didn't happen overnight. It began with awareness, the understanding that clutter steals time, attention, and peace. By removing distractions, they discovered joy in the small, the aroma of tea, the sound of rain, the beauty of a single flower. These are not simple people, they are refined in simplicity. Their secret, they stopped chasing more, and started nurturing meaning. We often think decluttering is physical, but it's deeply emotional. Every drawer we clean, every item we give away, is an act of emotional courage. Japan's elite understand that letting go means confronting fear, the fear of emptiness. It's a fear of not having enough, the fear of who we are without our possessions. But once that fear fades, what remains is freedom. One Japanese designer once said, "I own nothing, but I feel full." That's the heart of this radical trend. Fullness through emptiness. It's about replacing clutter with clarity, anxiety with calm. You start realizing that the lighter your surroundings, the lighter your spirit feels. When you let go of the things that no longer serve you, you make space for the things that truly do: peace, gratitude, and love. At the end of the day, decluttering isn't just a trend, it's a philosophy that redefines success. The elite in Japan have quietly discovered a truth we all sense deep inside. A rich life isn't measured by what you have, but by what you can live without. When you remove the noise, life speaks clearly. When you let go, life gives back. Maybe it's time we ask ourselves, what are we holding on to that's holding us back? What clutter, physical or emotional, is standing between us and peace? The Japanese way reminds us, we don't need to chase more to be fulfilled. Sometimes, The secret to happiness is simply to stop running and start living lighter. In the end, the most valuable space you'll ever own is the one inside your heart.